So it's a beautiful day at Farmers Market, which is now closing down, and there's all this ruckus of everyone putting away their goodies for the day. And I just got off the phone with a sweet woman who's been practicing with her jade egg, and she noticed that and she just started this week, she just met me, she just started, and she noticed that a couple of days after using the jade egg, she was experiencing like an unusual amount of emotion that just seemed to be coming up and washing through her. And she just kind of wondered if that was connected or if they had anything to do with each other. And it sent a sense of urgency to me to create a video, especially about that, just real quickly, just to kind of talk about how the egg opens up emotion in a way that can sometimes be surprising and sometimes can be really intense for some women, can be really powerful and surprising, and can be a little disconcerting even. So my name's Kim, and I'm a sex educator and intimacy coach, and I work with people who are feeling dissatisfied or disconnected from their sex life, and I support them in finding more juice and vitality and aliveness and fulfilling sex with or without a partner. And so Jade Egg is one of those without a partner practices. It's a practice for you as an individual woman. And so part of what the egg does is when it's inserted, so our vagina, our body, cellular body, we know that our body carries trauma. And we know many of us who have experienced going to a massage therapist or having some deep intimate touch, there's emotions that live in our body that get moved because it lives deep in our cells. And when you think about the vagina and the kind of sensitive, tender, membrane flesh that vagina is made out of, it's very absorbent. It's it's a membrane. It absorbs. And so not only does it absorb physically, but it absorbs energetically. And so our vaginas have had a lot of different kinds of energy put in them, whether it's the energy of lovers, whether it's the energy of hygiene, childbirth, doctors, abuse, tampons, whatever that might be. And so each time the vagina gets approached like that, we're not always listening to our own yes and no. We don't always have the opportunity to listen to our yes and no. And we carry a lot of trauma there, a ton of trauma there. And not only do we carry our own trauma, we carry the trauma of our mothers and our mothers' mothers. We were in utero with our grandmas. We were in her. And so even physically carrying part of her with us. So there's a tremendous amount of emotion that gets caught up in the vagina. Lots of women who work with the egg come to me because what they're feeling is a block from their sexuality, or a drop in their libido, or a disconnect from the pleasure and the joy. And a lot of that is built up resistances that come from the different pieces of trauma that have happened and that we carry. We also carry a global trauma in our vagina. When you look at what has happened for eons to vaginas, to women, that to this very day, vaginal destruction is used as a way to keep women quiet and to keep them subservient and to keep them docile. And so we're really carrying a lot in there that we don't necessarily have an intellectual idea about. And so when we start to use the egg, and now what we're doing is we're approaching our vagina in a whole different way with a whole different intention, a whole different attitude. It's not goal-oriented, it's not to do with something, it's simply to bring love and light, caring, compassion, connection, and heart to this deep, intimate landscape that we carry. And that egg goes into that soft place and works as a pressure point tool. It's a crystal, it's a stone, a gemstone that has the energy of moving those blocks, that stirs it up, that it's like stirring a pot. And so when you're using the egg, you're stirring a pot of what is a lot of emotion, and a lot of it really painful. So when you stir that pot, that's likely to boil to the top. It's one of the beauties of this practice is that we boil it to the top in a really conscious way, in a really purposeful way. And when it boils to the top, we can release it, we can surrender it, we can transform it, we can let it go, and we can clear those pathways so that we have a clearer roadway to our pleasure, to our joy, to our fulfillment, to our sexy, juicy, yummy nature, and it becomes a potent tool for reclaiming and re-embodying your divine feminine essence for all of the beauty and pleasure and joy that it can bring you. So I invite you to let the emotions bubble and let them transform. Thanks.